095. The Eight Winds. I had been anxious about you because I have not heard from you in so long. I was overjoyed to receive your messenger, who arrived with your various offerings. I'm going to bestow the Gohonzon on you for your protection. About the problem of your transfer to another estate, I have studied your Lord's letter to you and your letter to me and compared them. I anticipated this problem even before your letter arrived. Since your Lord regards this as a matter of the utmost importance, I surmise that other retainers have spoken ill of you to him, saying, "He shows a lack of respect for you in his unwillingness to move to a new estate. There are many selfish people, but he is more selfish than most. We would advise you to show him no further kindness for the time being. You must beware and act cautiously. As vassals, you, your parents, and your close relatives are deeply indebted to your Lord. Moreover, he showed you great clemency by taking no action against your clan when I incurred the wrath of the government, and the entire nation hated me. Many of my disciples had their lands seized by the government, and were then disowned or driven from their lord's estates. Even if he never shows you the slightest further consideration, you should not hold a grudge against your lord. It is too much to expect another favor from him, just because you are reluctant to move to a new estate. Worthy persons deserve to be called so because they are not carried away by the eight winds: prosperity, decline, disgrace, honor, praise, censure, suffering, and pleasure. They are neither elated by prosperity nor grieved by decline. The heavenly gods will surely protect one who is unbending before the eight winds. But if you nurse an unreasonable grudge against your Lord, they will not protect you, not for all your prayers. When one goes to court, one may win one's case, but then again one may lose, when satisfaction could have been obtained outside of court. I consider how the night watchmen might win their case. I felt great pity for them. They were deeply troubled, and their houses and lands had been confiscated just because they were Nichiren's followers. I said that I would pray for them, provided they did not go to court. They agreed and promised not to go. So when I heard that they had submitted petitions and were embroiled in lawsuits, I was concerned that it would not go their way. So far, no results have been forthcoming. Daikaku and Eomon no Taiyo had prayers answered because they followed my advice. Hakiri seems to believe my teachings, but he ignored my suggestions about his lawsuit, and so I have been concerned about its progress. Some good seems to have come of it, perhaps because I warned him that he would lose unless he followed my advice. But because he did not listen to the extent I had hoped, the outcome has been less fruitful than he expected. If lay believers and their teacher pray with differing minds, their prayers will be fertile as trying to kindle a fire on water. Even if they pray with one mind, their prayers will go unanswered if they have long made the errors of attacking greater teachings with lesser ones. Eventually, both lay believers and their teachers will be ruined. Mion was the 50th chief priest of the Tendai school. He was punished by the retired emperor in the 5th month of the 2nd year of Angen, 1176, and ordered into exile in the province of Izu. En route, however, he was rescued at Osu by his priest from Mount Hei. He reassumed his position as chief priest, but in the 11th month of the 2nd year of Jue, 1183, he was captured by Minamoto no Yoshinaka and was beheaded. I'm not saying that being exiled or beheaded is in itself an indication of fault. Even sages and worthies undergo such things. When civil war broke out between Yoritomo of the Minamoto clan and Kiyomori of the Taira clan, more than 20 of Kiyomori's clanmen signed a pledge and affixed their seals. They vowed, "We will look to Mount Hei as our clan temple. We will revere the 3,000 monks as our parents. The sorrows of the mountain temple will be our sorrows, and the joys of the mountain temple our joys." They donated all the 24 districts of Omi province to the temple. Then the chief priest Mion and his disciples employed all the rites of the true word teachings in their prayers to vanquish the enemy, and even ordered their armed priests to shoot arrows at the Minamoto soldiers. Yoshinaka of the Minamoto clan and one of his retainers, Higuchi, however, accompanied by a mere 5 or 6 men, climbed Mount Hei and burst into the main hall. They dragged Mion from the platform where he was praying for victory, bound him with a rope, and rolled him down the west slope of the mountain like a big stone, and beheaded him. Nevertheless, the people of Japan do not shun the true word teachings, nor have they ever delved into this matter. During the 5th, 6th, and 7th months of the 3rd year of Jokyu, 1221, the cyclical sign Kinatomi, the imperial court, and the barbarian warriors engaged in combat. At that time, Mount Hei, Toji, the 7 major temples of Nara, Onjoji, and the other temples each performed all the most esoteric rites of the True Word School in their prayers to the Sun Goddess, Great Bodhisattva Achiman, the Mountain King, and other deities. 41 of the most renowned priests, including the General Administrator of Priest Jian, a former chief priest of the Tendai School, and the administrators of priests of Toji, of Onmuro, and of the Joju-in Hall of Onjoji Temple, prayed repeatedly for Hojo Yoshitoki's defeat. The prelate of Onmuro also began a ceremony to overpower the enemies in Shinsenden Palace on the 8th day of 6th month. He proclaimed that the imperial court would be victorious within 7 days, but on the 7th day, the 14th day of the 6th month, the battle ended in defeat, and the prelate died of extreme grief because his beloved page, Setaka, had been beheaded. Yet, despite all this, no one ever wondered what was wrong with the true word doctrines. The ceremonies that incorporated all the true word doctrines, the first conducted by Mion and the second by Jian, resulted in complete collapse of royal rule in Japan. Now, for the 3rd time, a special religious ceremony is being held to ward off the Mongol invasion. The present regime will surely suffer the same fate. This is a confidential matter. You should keep it strictly to yourself. As for your own problem, I advise you not to go court. Neither harbor a grudge against your lord, nor leave his service. Stay on in Kamakura. Go to attend your lord less frequently than before. Wait upon him only from time to time. Then you can expect that your wish will be fulfilled. Never conduct yourself in a shameful manner. Be unmoved by greed, by the desire for fame, or by anger. Background. This is one of the many letters Nichiren Daishonin wrote to Shijō Kingo, his loyal disciple in the Kamakura. Because of Kingo's devotion to the Daishonin's teaching, he was ordered in 1276 to move from his estate near Kamakura to the distant province of Echigo. The letter is not dated, but it is known to have been written in the 3rd year of Kenji, 1277. The concept of the 8 winds is described in works such as the Treatise on the Stage of Buddhahood Sutra. They advise people not to be swayed by their attachment to prosperity, honor, praise, or pleasure, the 4 favorable winds, or by their aversion to decline, disgrace, censure, or suffering, the 4 adverse winds. The Daishonin cautions Kingo to remain in the good graces of his lord, reminding him that Lord Ema refrained from harassing him during the Daishonin's exile to Sado, when the government was persecuting the Daishonin and his followers. Then the Daishonin tells Kingo that only by putting faith first and controlling his feelings of resentment against his lord can he expect to find a way out of this impasse. He also says that the call of law and other expedients are secondary to faith, and that if Kingo is to win, he must proceed exactly as the Daishonin teaches.